Alright everyone, we're going to work on that black canvas here. So let me tell you what I got going on. I just got black gesso all over the whole canvas there. Let it dry, then I put on a thin coat of liquid clear, a real thin layer, and then I went ahead and I put in some alizarin crimson right in through here. Can't really see it because it's a transparent color, but it's going to pop here in a minute when we get started. So I got that crimson running in right through here. Then I have a little bit of phthalo blue all around in here, kind of going all around that crimson, blended it in just a little bit. And then all around the corners, I put in some Van Dyke brown, and it'll darken up those edges right there and make a nice little effect. It's a beautiful little land right here. So let's go ahead and get started. Now that I told you I got a canvas all prepped up there with color on there. So we're going to go ahead and start with our number 2 brush. I'm going to go ahead and go right into some titanium white. Just going to pop it in there, drag it down. Bring some down, load it into the brush. I'm not trying to get a whole lot in there, but we got to get some in those bristles. Tap it in, get it in there, however you need to load it in. Not a whole lot. See? Get that nice in there, nice brush. And we're gonna start with our light source, our lightest spot. So I'm thinking let's do a nice little deep forest, maybe a little bit of water right here. We'll put some water right here. A little waterfall, let it run down here, a little river, deep, real deep in the forest. But we're gonna have to have a little glow. So let's just jump right into it and be brave here. And just light source right here. We're just gonna get it in there. And then we're gonna work it out. Leave a little bit of that dark in there. Kind of light. See, look, touching that phthalo blue there. Just kind of lightly. We're gonna make this nice and soft here. You can make that as bright as you want it to be. But just kind of just start to softly bend it out over here. Softly bend it out. That's the whole key. Just being soft with it. Bring some down here. Try to keep that hard edge right there. And you'll see why in a minute. We're going to have brush growing over there. So you want to keep that hard edge right there. So just bring some over here. Bring it over here. Get some of that blue in here, that area. And we're going to bring some of it down. So like I said, we're going to have some water. We're going to get a little bit more light. Just a little bit. So we can lighten this up just a little bit down here with that. Have some water trickling down a little river. Just bring that down. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Soften that up. Alright, so I'm going to take my brush, go ahead and clean off my brush here. And I'm using waterless paint thinner. Actually, I'm using Gamsol. There's all sorts of things you can get. Terpenoid, turpentine, waterless paint thinner. I like Gamsol. It's a little pricey, but it works really well. I like the consistency it gets. Get off that excess. Try that brush off. Beat the devil out of it. Alright, so we're going to go back to our lightest spot right here and right here. This little glow right here. And we're going to soften that up. And we're going to start with the lightest area and again work our way around. You don't want to go back to your light area with your dirty brush or you're going to muddy that up, make it dark. So real soft. I'm going to hit that white. Real soft. Real soft. And bring it back up. And bring it over around. Doing little crisscross strokes, real soft. Real soft. Look at that. See all those little strokes in there? Those little dark spots. Looking good. Makes that nice ethereal look. I love doing these black canvases. Putting that color underneath like that. Alright, now we're going to give that a little lift. Give that a little lift. Soften that up just a little bit. Let's bring this down here, soften this up a little bit too. Just mix that all over. So get out those brush strokes. Get out those brush strokes. We're going to go ahead and clean our brush off again. Set that over off to the side. Dry it out. Just use a little shop rag right there. Just make sure that gets all the excess out of there. Get some extra pigment off the canvas. You don't want to overwork the paint because you'll just blend it. You'll just look. See, now it just blends all back together. And then what are you gonna do? So overworked it a little bit. So we're just gonna go ahead and hit that white again. We're gonna go back and refix that. We're just gonna make it a little bit brighter. Pure white. There we go. And then we just soften it up a little bit. Soften it up. There we go. Nice light. And if you want, you can get it all in one direction. It makes it look like streaking light. Just light streaks right through it. This will be fun in just a second here. Alright. Wipe off that extra paint right there. And we're just going to real soft. Real soft. Real soft. Get those brush strokes out real quick. Alright, so now we've got a nice little gradation of light right there. So we're going to go ahead, head over to our palette, clean this brush off real fast. Don't want to sit down with a dirty brush. Don't forget about it. Next thing you know, you have a real brush. And you got to go buy a new brush. And they get expensive after a while. Alright, put that off to the side. Let's go over to our palette real quick. Let's mix up a little color. So let's get a little bit of this Prussian blue, a little phthalo blue, a lot more on the crimson. Put that down. Sort that up, set up real good. That nice dark color. Let's put a little bit more crimson in there. There we go. All right. Clean off that. Set that off. All right. So now we got this nice color we just made. This nice dark lavender. We'll go ahead and grab 1-inch brush. I'm gonna get just a little tiny dip. I mean, just a little tiny dip of my Gamsol, that paint thinner right there. I'm gonna pick up just a little bit of that color and bring it over here. I'm going to drag some of my color over there. And I'm going to take just a little bit of titanium white. Just a little bit. And we're just going to lighten it up a hair. Maybe just a little bit more. Alright, so there we go. We're going to lighten that color up right there like that. Tap it into the brush. Tap, 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 tap. I like to give it a little downward tap. Like that. Gives, you can see on the brush right there, it makes a little angle like that. I like to put that angle on the top. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to drop in a little bit of foliage right here. I like that color we got right there. So we're just going to, very similar. Just drop in some little basic little leaves hanging right here. Oh yeah, look at that. Blends in there right now. Let's get some more paint on there. A little bit more paint. A little bit more paint. This is all in the background. This is all background. It doesn't have to be too pretty. It's going to be blurred. I'll show you a little trick here in just a minute. I'm going to blur that up. So we're actually going to dip into a little bit darker now. A little bit darker. And we're going to just off to the side a little bit more. A little bit more on there. So there we go. So mix those, mix a nice little foliage in there. Happy little trees. We all know about the happy little trees. Just little basic little tree shapes. So we're getting over here, getting a little bit closer to the front there. We're going to get a little bit darker. Closer you get to the front, you're going to get a little bit darker. And now I'm just going to tap in some bushes. Just some little bushes down here. Just some little bushes. Just like that. Perfect. Then we're going to take that dark color again. A nice dark color. We're going to come over here. Right about here. Just a little bush right there. Happy little bush that lives right there. You need some friends over here, don't you, little buddy? Let's give you a little reach out of a tree right here. There we go. Maybe some overhanging limbs right there. Another spot. Fill it in just a little bit. I'm coming here, I'm just going to get that light color just a little bit. Just a little bit of that lighter color that we just had. Just spruce it up just a hair. Just a little bit. Not much. Just a little spruce up. A little highlight in there. Just a little highlight. Not a lot. Not a lot. A little bit goes a long way. Go a long way, real quick. Don't overwork it. Maybe a happy bush of those right in there for right now. Alright. I love the way these look over here. It looks real nice over there. Alright. Let's go back into some more of that purple, a little bit of that white that's on the brush right there. Let's hit this up a little bit. Not too much. I want that a little bit darker. So let's hit some of that Van Dyke brown that I have up here in the corner. Maybe a little black as well. Bring it down into that purple. Give it some real. There we go. Now it stands out, doesn't it? Stands out real good now. Alright. Nice and dark. Alright. Alright. Now you're cooking with mama. Tap this over here a little bit. Spread this out. Give it a little texture. This is back off the distance. You're not going to see much. In fact, I'm going to show you a little trick here. We're going to hit that with a little bit of titanium white again, just a little bit. So you just got a little bit on the bristles right there, nothing much. Little highlights. Little highlights. Not a lot. Not a lot. Just a little. Get some more of that white on there. Just a couple of spots here and there. Go a long way. Alright. Let's hit that brush over here, get it cleaned off. Clean off the brush. That off there. Alright. No, that paint's a little thick on there. So we're gonna want to clean it up. So what we're gonna do is a little trick with that. Since I got so much paint on there, we can push those trees right off in the back of the distance. Way back there. So I'm going to take my number 2 brush. And I'm going to very, very lightly. I'm talking super light. Just like a whisper. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. It just pushed that tree way back there, didn't it? Look how far back that tree just got. Wow. Look at that. And then these bushes up here, we're just going to give a little tap. Just a little tiny tap on the bottom. And it's going to pull off some of that paint. It's going to leave that nice, nice little texture. Alright, look at that. And then this right here, we're going to go real soft up. Real soft. Real soft. We'll try to push those back again. And then drag it back down. Keep that same angle. We're actually going to stretch that angle. Very important, keep the same angles. Keep that light source. Look at that. And that just pushed everything in the back, and it made this beautiful pop right there with those colors. You know what we're missing? I know what we're missing. We need some branches in there. Maybe some little Little trees and twigs living in there. So we're going to take our liner brush. This is my favorite part of all my paintings I do. I love doing this. We're going to get a little bit of our thinner. And let's go ahead and get right here in this light color that we made. A little muddy light color right there. You know what? Let's see if we can get it a little brighter. Let's just take some white. We're going to thin this out a lot. We're going to thin it out a lot, guys. Like ink. That's the whole point. You want this super thin paint so it glides like it's ink. And the best way is to make it like milk. Just make it like milk. Real thin. Real thin. Alright. We're going to roll the brush and pull. Roll the brush and pull. Nice sharp tip. We're going to come up in here. We're going to make some happy little branches up in here. Just, you know what? I think I may need to be a little bit thinner. There we go. There we go. Now it's working. Reach my branch out there. I love doing branches. Love doing these little branches. Favorite thing. Piece these trees right together there. Yeah. Turn that brush a little bit. A little bit more thinner, just a little bit more. There we go. Be careful not too thin. You don't want to stretch the pigment out of there. That's not good. Just a little wiggle. Oh, look at it. Oh, look at him going there. Oh, this one's going to have a lot. Oh, yeah. This is a lively one. I bet a lot of little critters live in those little happy little bushes right there. Yeah. Alright. Throw them in there. Throw them in there. You can't see a lot going on in there. And that's okay. That's all in the background. But I know they're there. You know they're there. Little hidden gems. People will get right up on your painting and take a look. Like, wow, how'd they get all those little branches in there? Alright. And I think we're going to move on here. That way I'm not wasting your whole time watching me put in little branches. I'm sure that's not the exact reason you stopped in is to watch branches. Although, I have done it. I watch videos for all kinds of reasons. That's how you learn. Alright, alright. Maybe just a couple more. Just a couple more. Maybe a few over here. I want to soften this one up a little bit. That one kind of stood out a lot. I didn't want to take up that much. So we're just going to, there we go, just like that. Soften it up just a little bit. Love doing these little branches. Alright, I'm done. I'm done. Alright, we're done. Let's stop. Let's move on now. Let's go ahead and put our little waterfall right here. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to take that 1-inch brush, and I like to go ahead and dip a little bit in the center, pull down some titanium white. Alright, and just a little tiny touch of phthalo blue. That was too much. See, that little tiny touch was too much. Put down some more white. Alright. Alright. Now make sure this is nice and slick. Sometimes you can just go ahead and take a little liquid clear. put on there. Make it nice, real slick, thick. So we're just gonna let's do a small little one about here. So we're just gonna shoop, shoop. Just bring it straight down. Just a little out. Shoop. Yeah, just like that. We'll just do a little small one. Let's bring it down to about right here. And you know we need to have a little bit of mist. Just a little bit of mist. Just a little bit. It's not that much of a job. Not that much of a job. Just don't need a whole lot. There we go. Beautiful little waterfall there. Look at that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and clean that brush, set it off to the side. Alright, dry it off. Alright, let's see, let's get a little color, a little bit more foliage in right here. Start to cover that up a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and put a little land right in here. I'm going to put a little land right here. A little rock. Just a small little cliff face. Just a small little drop. Alright? So we're going to come over here to our palette. We're going to grab some Van Dyke Brown. A little bit of that burnt sienna. Van Dyke Brown, burnt sienna. A little bit of black. Kind of just give it a minute. Let it stay a little marble. Pull it out flat. Cut off a little roll. Just like that. See, there's a little oil on there. And we're going to, boom, right there. We're just going to put a little dark color on the canvas there. Just a little darkness. Maybe a dark spot right here, alright? Just a little bit darker. Right now we're just kind of pushing that dark color into the canvas. Just push it. Give a little, put that little dark ridge at the top there. See that little roll of paint? Keep that little ridge on the top there, dark color. And I'm just going to give that a little pool like that. Alright, alright. Just take it off right there like that. Alright, now we're going to take that same color that we just did, take a little bit of the titanium white, that same color, marble it up just a little bit. Look at that. Keep it marbled. I actually want to add a little bit more of that burnt sienna right there. Just a little bit. See that marble color? Cut off a piece. And I'm just going to, real soft. I'm putting like no pressure. As soon as it touches, I just let it roll. Bump it down. Just like that. Make it a little bit darker. Put that up just a little bit. Bring it up just a little bit. Make it look roggy. Roggy! Your hands are in. Alright, there we go. Got a little ledge right there. Now, we need a little ledge here, don't we? Let's make this jet out just a little bit. I'm just going to draw it across right there. This one isn't very far down. And there we go. Oh yeah. Just like that. There we go. Alright. There we go. Now we got a little edge. Actually, I think, you know what? I think I want to add a little bit more of the Van Dyke brown. A little tap of the brown in there. Just darken that up just a hair. Maybe give it a nice little, just like that. Just like that. A little dark on the edge there. Make it a little outcropping there. Yeah. Looks a lot better. focus too much on that. That's not getting covered again. All right. Clean off our knife. Set that off to the side. Let's add a little dark lane right there. Some of that burnt umber. Sorry, that was a burnt umber. That's a light brown that I grabbed. Give it a little bit of a swoop there, just like that. We're going to need a little shoreline. Now I'm just going to grab that titanium white, a little bit of roll, just a little on the roll there. Real soft. Real soft, just let it drag on there. Just like that. I'm just going to fill that in right there. Little shoreline area. Alright, yeah, I like that. Alright, clean that knife off again. Now, let's see, what are we going to do here? Let's bring this sucker to life. Let's soften this up right here. I just grab my fan brush real fast. Just going to soften this up. See? Just real soft. Get some of that off there a little bit. Kind of blends it up. Alright. There we go. And we get this. Bring that in right here. Let's just bring that in. Since that paint go to waste, we can use it, just rub it in, make all these nice little effects over here. Look at that. Alright, yeah, so you can just pull the paint. That's the cool thing about using these oils. This paint stays wet forever, man. I mean, I'll have a painting drying for 2 weeks. Still walk over and touch it and get paint all over my fingers. That's cool though. Look at that. Alright. Love that. Just pull those white streaks across. Oh, look at those colors. Same over here. We'll just pull some across. Just pull some across. We'll make this look pretty. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. Love this water we got going on. I think we could use a little sparkle in there though, right? A little sparkle. So then clean our brush off. Clean that fan brush off. We're going to stick with this fan brush again. And so let's have a little splashing of rocks in the water there. Just a little bit. So we're just going to hit that titanium white, a little bit on the brush, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot on there. We're just going to hit the corner. I like that little splash right there. Maybe a little splash of water right here from the rock sticking out. Who knows? Could be a rock in there. Splash it over. Alright. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We don't want to overdo it. That looks fine. There we go. Good, good. Maybe lighten that up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Alright. Looks good. Looks good. let's move over here. Let's see, what are we gonna add in next? I'm loving the way this side looks. Let's bring some attention over to this side too. Let's put in a big old tree. Big old tree. We're gonna put a big old Bob Ross tree in there. He's gonna love it. First, we gotta fill in some of this background right here. So we're gonna go back in that real nice dark lavender, dark color with some white. Lighten it up just a hair so you can see it. And we're just gonna, let's just fill in a couple little happy bushes there. Alright, a couple happy bushes. Work the colors on the brush there. You get all these different little colors. And then if you work them up real nice, you get some nice textures. Beautiful little mixtures of colors. Alright, if you find that your paint's not sticking, get just a little slightest, I mean just like a drop, just a little drop of your paint thinner. And look at that, it'll stick right on there a little bit better. Boom. Just bring it out. Just like that. Alright. I like that color, that turned out nice. Alright, let's add a little bit more right here. Just happy little bushes. Happy little bushes. Nothing to see here but some happy little bushes. Leave those black spots in there. See those little dark spots in there? Leave those in there. There's little places for those little critters to hide. We need a little bush over here. So let's take a little bit of that crimson, a little tiny bit of burnt sienna, a little bit of Van Dyke brown, a little bit of that phthalo blue. Mix that up right there on the brush. A bit more crimson. Alright. And then I'm just going to tap. Small little tap of white on the tip of it. Alright? And I'm just going to... Boom. Oh, you know what? A little thinner. Starting to make some mud. Don't want to make any mud. So we're going to use just a little bit of paint thinner. There we go. See? See that thinner paint right there just stuck to it a lot better. Now I want a little darker, so we're gonna hit. I got a little Prussian blue over here. We'll put on there. A little Prussian blue, a little bit of that crimson. Make another layer. Some little darker bushes right there in the front. There we go. All right. We got some of that in there too. And cohesive. Alright, so we're going to put in a big old tree right there. Big tree. Alright, clean this brush off real quick. Alright, guys. Here comes the test. Alright, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and grab a little Van Dyke brown, a bunch more burnt sienna. Mix that up. A little bit further. There we go. Alright. Keep it a little marbled like that. A nice mixture. Pull flat. Give it a little cut. Put a roll on there. Let's roll with it, guys. Whew. This is the hardest part. I hate doing this. We're going to do it. Just tap. Tap, pull. Tap, pull. And just making a tree. Just making a tree, guys. That's all we're doing. Making a tree. It goes up like that. It's a little crooked. Huh? A little crooked tree. Alright, nice and flat. Just pull it. Pull the paint. Make it come to you. Own your paint. There you go. I'm going to make this sucker a big old fat tree. Here from this side. Just like that. Boom. Bring it on up. Bring that tree up. Make it a new home. Alright. Go ahead. Let's give him smaller friend here. There we go. Little friend. Maybe he stops right there. Bring him up a little bit taller. There we go. They're still neighbors. They're close. There we go. Keep going at the top here. Bring it more. Bring it up more. Just tap it on there. There we go. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of, let's see. Let's go with a little bit of the crimson, a little bit of the white, same colors we had right there, from over here, a little bit more crimson, a little bit of white, just for a little marble effect. Oh yeah, we're gonna clean up flat. Look at that marbling right there. That's gonna be nice. So here's what we're gonna take that. This will be our highlight color. Just boom, boom, tap it on there. Switch over here so that you can see on camera there. Boom. Alright. Bring it on out. Stretch it over just a little. Give it a little swoop. See that little swoop right there? It makes it look a little like it's round almost. See that? Alright. And don't forget about his friend back here. He doesn't get as much. He's a little bit further in the back. Just like that. Just like that. Alright, now we're going to take that same color, we're going to add a little bit of the phthalo blue. A little phthalo blue right on top of that. We're going to cool it off a little bit, alright? So, a little marbling in there. Right, they still got a lot of red in there. So, we're going to go ahead and clean off the knife. We're just going to go ahead and grab some blue, a little white. Not much. Not a whole lot. It's going to be that back end highlight. Just kind of wraps around the tree there. This guy gets a little bit too. Just cool it off. Just cool it off a little. Doesn't need to be so bright with that red. I'm just going to cool it off with that blue. Make it pretty. Alright. Nice big old tree over there, standing down. Nice. It's pretty. It's a pretty tree. All right. Well, the noise you're hearing in the background is my beautiful wife's dog. Just got her head stuck in a box. Sounds like she's free now, so no worries. Let's get back to our painting. Let's put a little land right here. We're going to go ahead and grab that Van Dyke brown. Beautiful. Love this Van Dyke brown. And we're just gonna make some land. Just gonna swoop it in there, right? Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Just putting in that nice, beautiful, rich, dark color right there. Stretch it out. Bit of that titanium white again, marble it up, and I'm just gonna make a shoreline. Make a little shoreline right there. So you got a little blue on there again, and that's pretty. Try to keep that angle. It's important to keep those angles. That's how you get your planes of distance. All that stuff right there. Alright, so now we're going to clean off that knife again and we're going to go straight into the titanium white. Take some, pull it out right there, get rid of that dirty color. I'm going to get rid of that dirty color. I don't want that in my painting right now. So we're going to take this white, pull it out, color will roll off, real sharp roll. And we're going to kind of just cut in Almost like I'm cutting that canvas. Almost cut that canvas. These knives are dull. You're not going to actually cut through it. Don't worry. You take that little bead on the end there, and you just crease that sucker in there. You make these beautiful little waves, little landmarks. Just like that. Stretch them back out. Work your planes, highlights, all that. Stretch them out. Keep those lines straight. You don't want to make them all crooked, because you make your lines crooked, it makes them look like the planes are off. So when you come into these areas, you just kind of just scrub it in to the shore, pull it out, pull it out, make it sharp. There you go. There we go. Just like that. Alright. Now if you saw, I accidentally touched it. Messed that up. So we're just going to stretch out. See a little mess up? Mess ups are easy to deal with. Happy little mistakes. Look at that. A little tiny mess up right there just turned into a beautiful little mistake. We all know it. We've all seen the videos. We all know that big afro man that we love. Let's put a little bit more over here, lighten this up. So we get that kind of heart right there. Boom. Oh yeah. Looks good. Alright guys. Here we have one beautiful deep forest scene. I think we'll go ahead and add a couple little branches up here in the front, just like we did earlier. So we're going to grab our liner brush again. I'm going to thin out some more paint. I'm going straight white right here. It's already got, well, it's got a little bit of blue in there. And that's okay. We love our colors. Love the colors. It's all harmonious on there anyways. We have blues and purples on there. It's just going to look good. Alright. Get it thin. Draw it out. Go for here. Go for there. Just add a few in there. Get wild! Wild and crazy with them. Alright, again, remember, like I said, if you're having problems with your paint sticking, thin it just a little bit. Just a little bit. See? Look at that. Works wonders. Just a little bit of thinner. Made that one a little aggressive. So let's blend it up just a little. There we go. Just like that. Alright. A couple more down here. You'll see them in the end. They'll all turn up. Look beautiful. Beautiful. Alright. Well, I think we may be done, guys. I don't know. You know what? I don't like right here. I think we're going to add a little gem in there. Just a little gem. Clean off that liner brush. Let's have a little fun. Let's do this. So we're going to take some cad yellow. That's right. It's on the palette. It was there for a reason. I had you all fooled. Then I'll hit black. Yeah, that's right. I said yellow and black. Watch this. Yellow, black. Oh my God, what color is that, guys? Blows my mind every time. That's green. Blows my mind every time. So I'm going to hit that green that we just made, that nice dark green. Little tiny bit of that bright yellow on top. Drag it down. Mixture of colors on there. Alright, we're going to thin it just a hair. As you see, we're going to need to thin it just a hair. Do that again. That bright little tip. That bright little tip. We'll just put these little gems in here. Some little gems in there. Little spots for the eye. Not much. Just a little. Just a little bushies. Just a few little bushies. Alright. Tiny little hidden guys in there. Nothing serious, just little things. Just do a couple of taps. Just a couple little hidden gems. Maybe there's a little bit there, a little bit there. Maybe just a little there. Alright. Alright guys, we are done. Thanks for watching the video, painting along, giving the support. Really appreciate it. And with that, we'll see you next time.